Oh yeah, they just send me WhatsApp. They want us to talk about this. Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right. So can you see my screen there?
Yes, I can. Can you allow me to record, sir?
Of course. Okay. Now can record.
Thank you. Okay, I'm in.
All right. So on my screen here we have a simple plan. We want to illustrate how these benefits draw from each other and how it all works. We want to illustrate how these things work. From this understanding, one can actually know and predict what the settings they are putting in the system are going to mean or not mean to their clients. So it will typically be something for someone in claims adjudication or BDU, business development unit, to use. It can also be used in preparing packages to offer to the clients of the funder, so that they can simulate what will happen to the users or to the members of the fund as they draw from the benefits. And that way explore different scenarios or different packages, different options, different configurations of packages. So here we go. So this is a very simple plan. It is a global limit, and it's got one parent with 3 child benefits, and then it's got 2 standalone benefits. One of the standalone benefits has no limit. One of the standalone benefits has a limit. So it's important to understand that while this 10,000 is a limit and 13,000 is a limit, it doesn't mean that 13 plus 10 must add to the global limit. No, the math doesn't work that way. These are just different channels by which benefits can be drawn. It's not cumulative in that way. it's cumulative at global level, and that's actually what we want to illustrate. That's why it's important to make this video, because there will be assumptions that people make that just because I have a limit here of 13 and no limit here, therefore I really can actually just keep drawing benefits. No, these are pegs or caps and sub-caps. All right, so now the areas which are grayed out here are areas which do not change, or which are supposed to be ignored in this illustration because they don't mean anything. They're not affected. They don't. It's a table, yes, but the way it works is not in a linear or tabular format. So that's why we grayed out some cells to avoid confusion. So that focus is only on the areas which are not grayed out. And then the areas which are green are areas where benefits are directly drawn. In other words, these are the places of claim line allocation. In other words, when a claim line is captured, it will be directly attached to one of the areas in green. And then the areas in amber are the caps, which are monitored. So the caps are here, the balance on the parent level and the balance on this one, this standalone benefit, which is the limit, and the balance on the global limit. So they're in amber because we're watching those. These are what we are trying to look out for, so that we don't exhaust those before the policy period is finished. All right, so scenario. Right now, we are at a opening of the policy period, and the full allocations are still available. So you find that these figures here on the balance level are same as the limits. That's because we are beginning the policy period and there's nothing which has been exhausted yet. There's nothing which has been used yet. So a GP claim comes through. It's a consultation, $1,000. So we put $1,000 here. What do you notice? That the usage on global has gone up and our balance on global has come down. And this balance has not been touched, and this balance on this drug facility has not been touched. So let us assume that this consultation had a prescription that came with it, and the prescription was for medicine that costs $2,500. So that knocks off straight from the outpatient drug facility, which is $2,500. So this directly knocks off from the balance of this outpatient drug facility and the global limit as well. It does not affect this, does not affect that inpatient limit. So let's suppose this patient is admitted and admission fee is $3,000. So it comes here directly, 3,000. And this, because it is not under any of the child benefits, it goes straight to the parent inpatient, sorry, in hospital benefit. And the usage on this becomes 3,000. And the usage on the global limit is also affected. And the balance on the global has also come down. And the balance on the parent has also come down as well. So let's suppose that while it's admitted, there is maybe it was a pregnant person. So they have a claim, which is maybe, let's suppose it's $4,000. Under inpatient unit, okay, $4,000. And this is affected usage on the parent, is affected usage on global, and the balance on the parent is now 6,000, and the balance on the global is 9,500. It is not affected the balance on this outpatient drug facility doesn't affect the GP consultations. So now, while this is happening, they need something optical. Maybe in the accident, something happened on their in the eye area, and they get some procedure which costs, say, let's suppose it's 1,500. And this goes and knocks off from the parent limit and the global limit, and the balance on the parent is now 4,500. Balance on the global limit is now 8,000. It has come down. It has not affected this other benefit here. It hasn't affected anything here as well. So let's suppose something happened to their teeth in that accident. So something is needed as well for, and it's under this accidental inpatient dental, and they're still admitted. So this knocks off 2,500. And this directly goes and affects the usage on the parent in hospital. It affects the global limit usage, and the balance on the parent is now 2,000. The balance on the global is now 5,500. This outpatient drug facility has not been affected. All right, so now let's suppose they have another, maybe the GP comes to see them while they are admitted. And the GP makes a separate claim by themselves. So the GP makes a claim of $1,000 for another, for this is a new encounter. So it is a new consultation. It's not a review. And it's another $1,000. So we're going to add $1,000 to this. So it is another 1,000. So the usage on global has come up to 2,000. Usage on this inpatient has not been affected. Balance on the parent has not been affected. Balance on this outpatient drug facility has not been affected. Balance on the global limit has been affected. It's now 4,500. That's the only thing that's been affected. Now, let's suppose this consultation also had some medications that were prescribed, and the medications are adding up to another, say it's another 2,500. So this knocks off from, actually, I think let's just call this drug facility in our very simple model, which caters for all drugs, inpatient, outpatient. We're trying to keep it simple here. We don't want to have too many lines to be difficult to follow. So we're going to have another $2,500 prescription. So it's equal to 2,500 plus 2,500. So usage on global has come up. Usage on this limit here of drug facility is now been knocked off from, and the balance on global has also been affected. It is now down by 2.5, so it's now 2,000. So now this person is still admitted, right? It's still one encounter. So they need something else optical, maybe another, something else is needed which affects their optical benefit. Let's suppose it's another 1,500, for example. So it's equal to 1,500 plus another 1,500. This goes and affects the usage on the parent and affects the global usage. and the balance on the parent is now 500. The balance on the global is now also 500. This has not been affected. So now a claim comes. Say there's also something, an additional item on the neonatal benefit that they want to draw from. Now, what's now available is only $500. In fact, I want to make this, I think we now have a coincidence of 500 on both, so it makes it difficult for me to put across the point I want to make. So I'm going to change this figure from being another 1,500 to being just $1,000. Yeah, just make it $1,000 so that we can draw something else somewhere else. And then we want to come over here and get some more medicine for let's say $400. More medicines for 400 are taken. So now the global limit has been affected and it's now 600. However, this has not been touched, it's to 1,000. So this is an interesting scenario which we are trying to illustrate. We still have 1,000 available on this parent, but on the global we only have 600. This is a scenario which is with a lot of confusion, questions arise from users and from clients, because at this point they don't understand how is it that I still am entitled to $1,000 here. I'm still entitled to 4,600 on drug facility, but there's only $600 left on the global limit. So the question would be, which of these balances, the 1,000 on parent in hospital parent, or the 4,600 on drug facility, on the 600 on global, am I going to draw from at this point? Now, the overriding limit is the global limit. You cannot get more than what's in the global balance at any one time. So I want to make sure this point is clear, that you cannot get more than what's in the global limit. So let's suppose a claim comes through, it's supposed to draw from neonatal care. And what's actually being proposed, what's being claimed is $1,000. Now, $1,000 would be available in this limit. However, it cannot be awarded because this only has 600 is left. So what will actually be claimed will be only $600, but that's what's available. And the shortfall for this client will be $400. So let us claim 600, which is equal to 4,000 plus $600. Why? Because this 600 is all that's available in the global limit. At this point, benefits are exhausted. Yes, there is a balance here, but it cannot be used. We cannot draw from drug facility to pay for neonatal care. So we cannot use this limit. We cannot use these benefits. And while there was more room in this parent in hospital, we cannot use it because the global limit is now 0. So this actually shortfalls. So at this point, shortfall is equal to what was supposed to be drawn was 1,000 minus what was available in global limit was 600. This becomes a shortfall for this client at this point. Beyond this point, any claim that they make will be 100% shortfall now, because there is no more balance in the global limit. All right, so any questions at this point?
I would like to ask, would it not have been practical for us to have considered putting a drug limit which is commensurate to the total of all other benefits, so that it comes up to 20,000. My question is simply saying, I've got a global limit of 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we not make sure that every benefit under the global limit, whether it's a parent or child speaking to each other, amounts to the 20,000, so that whatever happens, we don't come up with such a scenario where someone says, why am I not able to still access my drug facility benefit of 4,600, because according to my claims, they are still at 4.4, and I have a drug limit of 10,000. So I'm just trying to comprehend and say, why do we not structure this in such a way that all our benefits added up together in terms of the limits add up to the global limit of 20,000?
Okay, so that would be a question, I guess, that would be answered by the BDU, the Business Development Unit, the one that designs these plans. But perhaps, I mean, I'm speaking from the perspective of the system, or how the adjudication system works. But I would think that the reason why they would not do, okay, the purpose of this model is to actually spread the risk across all the benefits for it's actually in favor of the client, in favor of the member, because it's sort of trying to protect the member from themselves, from using all their benefits through one channel only, and then therefore not really experiencing the broad nature of their package. When we allow them to consume benefits from different channels like this, we then cater for the reality that they are going to be needing service in different forms, and we want to give the different forms an opportunity to draw from the benefits. Otherwise, it would be possible for all the claims to be knocking off from just one benefit, and it will be finished before they actually have experienced the benefits in other areas of the same global limit or the same package that they are subscribed to. So these limits here would not add up to this, because these are just channels through which you can consume from this. Each channel is on its own. So I used an example earlier of there's 5 loaves of bread on the table for the family to consume from. Now, each family member is entitled to actually consume as much bread as they want, but their stomach will be full before they finish the bread. And there's other children or other members of the family who are also taking from the same table. Therefore, the bread will be finished at some point. It will be finished either by one person or by them sharing or taking, as it were, at any pace. Now, for one child or one family member to be able to take all the bread, the other members would not be taking any. And they would have to give this person enough time to eat some, get hungry again, take some more, until they finish the 5 loaves. It could take days. However, in reality, the others will also get hungry at some point. And they will come to the table and also take from the same 5 loaves bread allocation. We don't know who will consume how much bread by what time. That's now dependent on who gets hungrier than others faster. But we know that we only have 5 loaves of bread allocated to the whole family, and at some point it will all be finished. That point is not determined. We'll know as time goes, as hungry as individuals get, eventually all the 5 loaves will be finished. It will take 2 days. It might actually be 1 day if they all sit and probably they don't eat anything else except bread. Maybe it will be finished in 1 day, maybe 2 days. Maybe they're eating other things as well in between. So maybe these loaves actually last a week. So this illustration I'm using is meant to illustrate the point of what happens with benefits. We are trying to spread or manage the risk or the unpredictable nature of the need of the benefits that the member is entitled to. So I don't know if this answered the question, why we don't make this add up to the total.
I'm answered. The practical example of the bread illustration is quite clear. But let me just throw in a curveball to your illustration.
Okay.
Is it possible that one child over a period of time does consume this bread gradually while everyone else is looking, because they're saying this child is the one that needs the bread more than anything else? I'm talking about somebody, for example, who in terms of their pattern of claiming would maybe be more consistent with utilizing the drug benefit than any other benefit. So is it possible with this type of a structure where maybe for one reason or another, is it possible for this person to actually get access to that full 10,000 and prejudice everybody else, as much as we won't want that type of scenario, but is it possible?
Well, we can add a rule that says any one member of the family cannot consume more than 2 loaves of bread across the entire length of time. You simply cannot consume more than 2 loaves. Even if the others are not hungry, you still cannot go beyond 2 loaves of bread. You just have to watch the other 3 loaves being consumed by others if you finished your 2 loaves allocation. But at the same time, if you don't consume your 2 loaves, then others will consume the loaves. The 2 loaves is just a limit, but it's not exclusive to you, because each one is the same 2 loaves limit. So each of you are taking the up to 2 loaves from the same table, which contains only 5 loaves.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you have another question?
This illustration is perfect. I'm satisfied.
All right, thanks. So I think for this session, which just illustrates how the benefit works, let us end this so that it can be converted and then can be a separate recording. Thank you.